Hi guys, João de Gregório here for another USF2000 tutorial. So this week, Summit Point, I could achieve the VRS lap. So let's see the full lap and then I'm gonna explain it. So here for the start finish line, we're gonna aim to brake after this third cone around here. So around here, just past the cone and then you start braking. So if you see on my cockpit version, my cockpit view, I'm just past the cone and then I hard on the brake here. Around 60% is a hard braking zone. And then again, release the brakes and start to turning the wheel slightly. I'm trying to be as close as possible with this curb, but I'm not gonna hit, because if I ride over this curb, it's gonna throw me on the other side. It's gonna make me oversteer, understeer. Sorry. So here I'm just trying to rotate the car as much as I can, and after the apex, slightly return the acceleration here, because uh, we have a lot of bumps here, so the car can oversteer a lot. So slightly on the acceleration. When you release the steering angle here, you can be full throttle, and then we're gonna be full throttle all this part around here, and here I'm gonna aim for this kink part of the grass here. Just after I pass it, I'm gonna slightly on the brakes here, because I don't want to stop the car too much, but I want it to rotate. And then I'm gonna get as close as I can with this curb. You can ride it, you can ride over this curb a little, but not too much, because it's gonna throw you all the way to the right. So return the acceleration slightly to not oversteer here or not upset the car. And then we're gonna ride over this curb to maximize our corner exit, because it's another straight part here. For this part, it's a full throttle part, but I'm not gonna ride over the curb, but I want to be as close as possible to the curb, because right after that it's our braking point. I'm just release the acceleration here. I'm just release a little of the throttle to make the car rotate more, and then right after I make the car straight, I get straight with the car, I'm gonna brake. It's a hard braking zone here, so around 50%, and all this part of the straights is gonna be our braking point here, our braking zone. And then slightly release on the brakes and begin to turn in the car. Just try to rotate the car here. I'm using a little acceleration there to try to make the car rotate. I wrote this part of the curve because this part is a little flat in comparison to the other part that it's taller. So you can get over here, but not over the tallest part of the curb because it's gonna make you understeer. So here I'm just using my acceleration to rotate the car and to gain speed, but not full throttle because it's a very tricky part of this circuit. It's a very difficult one, so if I go full throttle there, I'm gonna oversteer. I oversteered here in my lap. Here, I'm oversteering here. So right after this round part, you can brake to the next corner, just lightly on the brakes. You want to maintain the control of your car here. And again, you can ride over the curb only on the first part, not on the second one. And then here, it's a tricky acceleration zone. You're gonna accelerate, but not 100%. See how much I maintain, around 80%, just to gain speed, but not not trying to be 100% on the throttle because the car will oversteer. It's a very tricky part. And then when I aim the next part of the corner, this next corner, I go 100% on the throttle because now I know that the car will not oversteer. So be as close as possible to the curb on the first part, and then as close as possible to this second one. Try to not ride over it because it will understeer. And on this exit, try to be as close as possible to this left part of the track because you want to try to go full throttle to this corner, but it's a very tricky one. I think you can manage to do full throttle only on the first and second lap of the tire. After you have to release the acceleration here. And try to not ride over the curb because we will understeer and go to these trees. So here, see how far I went here. I went almost on the grass, but maintaining full throttle. But this is my first lap of the tire, so it is the best lap of the tire. For this part, I'm gonna show you the cockpit version because I try to maintain this light post here. I think this electricity post here align with my right mirror. So when I align them, I just lightly on the brakes just to slow the car enough to make the corner and to rotate the car as much as I can. And then I'm gonna full acceleration here because I want to rotate the car and be as fast as I can to the straight. I want to maintain my speed and gain the speed fast to be as fast as possible on the straight. And this curb, the last part of it, if you ride over there and went to this concrete part, stay on the concrete part. If you don't go too far and hit the curb like me, try to get off the curb fast enough because here in this part the curb and the concrete here it's taller than the rest of the circuit, so you're gonna have problems with bottoming and this will ruin your straight speed like 2/10 per straight. So try to not ride on the intersection part of the curb and concrete, or be on the just be on the concrete, or just be with one wheel on the curb. Don't try to ride with this with the middle of the car. So I hope you like it, and this was the lap at Summit Point. Here I did 19088 with the VRS configuration. Many thanks. See you on the track.